Why is it important for you to talk during this time? And what has struck you in those conversations with your team about how they're feeling collectively as a group?
I mean, people are hurting, and black people mainly, are scared. And the disturbing thing is they've been scared for a long time. And this is, I mean, this is it. This is a cry for help that they've been given for a long time, and people don't totally listen. And, I think everyone's at fault for that. But I'm not saying black people are, because they're the ones who have been screaming. And I think everyone's at fault for not totally listening. And I think one thing that bothers me the most, just throughout this all and throughout my own life experiences and stuff, is, racism is a big deal in our country right now. That's a fact. That's not debatable. It's always been a big deal. And it is today, just like it was 100 years ago. And I think something, just as a white person, that bothers me, that I don't think all white people realize that. And, there's different parts of this country and stuff. And, but a lot of white people, if they don't see it, they don't think it's happening. They associate racism with slavery and stuff a long time ago. And they're in certain parts where if they don't see it, they don't think it's happening. And I think, and that's the problem. Racism's all over, and this is what black people deal with every day. And white people are very sheltered to that and ignorant. And that's why I think that's the message that's been missed. I can't tell you, like, growing up and stuff, and being in situations, that bothers me the most, that resonates throughout all this, and hearing all our players. I've been in sports my whole life, and I've had white friends, black friends, Asian friends, all types of friends my whole life. And I've been fortunate to be in situations where I was in communities or teams and stuff, or where it wasn't a big deal. The same stuff I see in my kids, and I'll keep my kids in those types of situations. So it's never a big deal for them. And it wasn't for me. But there's stuff as I got older, like with my black friends and stuff, that I can promise you was consistent with all black friends wherever I had them. I moved everywhere in my life. Never lived anywhere longer than 4 years. So I've been all over this country, and I've had all types of friends. One thing I can tell you is consistent. Some of my friends, some of my black friends, some of the toughest guys I've been around, just awesome dudes who I've never seen get scared of anything. And I can't tell you how many times I'm with one of my black friends and we're around a cop, and I can feel something different in those guys. They're scared. And it's something that has always bothered me. And I've been in some situations worse than others, but regardless, I know how they feel. I don't know how they feel, but I can feel that they feel different than me. And that's something that is a fact. It doesn't matter whether it's a black guy in California, a black guy in Atlanta. It doesn't matter. That's something that they all feel. I don't know Champ Bailey very well. I know my dad does. I know John Lynch does. When he gave his Hall of Fame speech last year about this stuff, and I could see the passion in Champ's voice and the fear that he had for his kids and how real it was. And that's the same stuff I've seen in my friends since, I was 17. And when, we got caught sneaking out. And the difference between the black friend who was scared and me who actually wasn't, because I thought I had rights. And that's a white privilege that not everyone realizes. And people need to know, just because you don't see it, it doesn't mean it's not there. And white people have to acknowledge that this is a fact. This isn't debatable. And there's nothing more apparent than in what happens to numbers wise with black people and what's going on with the police force. And the numbers say it. Life experiences of all black people say it. And that's something that isn't debatable. And we can't confuse that with anything else or any individual. That's a fact. It's gone on way too long. And I think white people are listening more than I've ever heard before, which is good. And that's the starting point, because it's happened too long, and it's very clear, and I don't want to debate it anymore. No one does. Open your eyes.